Hello there, Jofinator here, episode 8 of our FTB play. Just logging in for the day. Haven't just woken up like last time. As you can see, the chat bar is going all weird. I'm just going to put my items away and we're going to get started on the rest of that build that we've got downstairs. Got a few carrots that I might have to go plant. And that's pretty much it. So for today's episode, we're going to get a bunch of clay. We're going to get a bunch of sand. We're going to smelt down the rest of our ores that we've got to get done here in our furnace room. And then we're going to build a new mod item. And it's a giant item. It fills up the world. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So let's start by getting the ores smelting down. So I'll throw some gold in, some iron. Make sure the bat box is okay. That should be good for now. So let's go get our items from downstairs and we'll go from there. Grab a we're going to have to use quite a few shovels here, so grab pickaxes, axe, don't need that, bronze sword, a few torches, get this up here, a little bit of food, perfect. So let's go find some sand. It's not getting to be nighttime, is it? Oh, I guess we're going to have to sleep first. So we're going to start filling up that big room today. It's going to be quite the build. It's going to take me a few episodes to get the build done. But once it's done, I imagine you guys will be rather impressed with it. I hope so, anyway. Quite a few reeds going now. Reeds are used to make sugarcane and paper. And we'll get into that in a few episodes. You can see I started to dig up some sand here, but I don't really want to dig around my house. I need the area to be nice and flush. So we're going to go over to this big mountain of sand. And we're going to get some of that, so. Grab a bunch of sand. And I don't know if I've said this before on my series or not, but the way my hotbar, so the bar right here, works is I basically have it set up in a specific way every time. And I tend to kind of keep it that way throughout the entire series. So if you're wondering why I carry food in this slot, it's because I like the food in that slot. I use sword, good pickaxe, mining pickaxe, shovel, whatever fifth item I want, or food, torches, and then I have a bucket with some sort of building material like sandstone, and then my crafting table. If you're wondering why I'm grabbing the sandstone right now instead of sand, it's because my room that I have in the house right now, needs sandstone for the floor, and that's what I'm going to use as the flooring. So I'm going to grab a bunch of this. Not too much for now, because we don't want to bore you guys with the episode, but that should be plenty enough to start at least. Alright, now we're going to go dig some sand. Now, I'm not going to do too much digging of sand on camera because it's kind of boring. But for now, at least, we'll get some of the sand on camera, and that way you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm going to get probably 5 or 6 stacks of sand, because this build does take a lot of sand. And then we're going to get into the actual building of the game. So hopefully this series is starting to pick up at least, and you guys are starting to enjoy it. The house is coming together quite nicely. I've changed from what I actually was planning on doing with the design. It's changed twice, so from here on out it's pretty much just a free build. My plan is pretty much gone, kind of trial by fire. So quite a bit of sand. Also, did you guys like that glass, or do you want me to fix something? And I also got a comment on the structure of that building, so we're going to fix that this episode as well. But did you guys like that glass in this building, or should I change it? Because, you know, when it comes to building with cobblestone, the danger is that with glass you run the risk of oversaturating your building and having too much light or not enough cobblestone to make it feel big enough, you know. So if it doesn't feel right, you know, guys, just let me know and I will change it, because even I'm not completely fond of an entire glass building. Alright, so it's not the ROM, it's not the giant egg-like shaped thing in Britain, you know. So, yeah guys, I'm going to go get a bunch of sand and I'll be right back. Alrighty guys, I'm back here. We just coming back in. It's turning into nighttime here, and you can see I've got lots of sand and quite a bit of sandstone. I've been putting it back. So we got quite a bit of sandstone. Got a little bit of cactus there, which is kind of neat. We need the cactus for our buildcraft pipes, which we're going to be using in a coming episode. So we're just going to put all our sand in here, and we're going to go sleep real quick, and then we're going to go find some clay. Clay is used in in making bricks, which we're going to have to do, but it's also used as part of the recipe for the item that I'm going to be making. And if you've guessed it already, then good for you, but don't spoil it for everybody else. Because this is one of the cooler items, I think, in the game. Because it's actually built in the world, so you have to take blocks and form them into a shape to get things to work. So now we're going to look for clay, and clay, this looking substance, is like, it starts in a block like this in the ground, and then you get this material. And you can see we've got E3 involved in the game now, so we can transmute items into clay if we want to. Gotta find that stuff first. So we're gonna go off looking for some clay, and once we find our first little bit, I'll do like I did last with the sand there, and continue doing, oh, there's some clay. So you can see we've got clay, and it turns into these little clay balls while it's underground. And I'll just go off camera once I get quite a bit of clay and do it like that again. So we got our first little bit of clay there. Only 20 pieces, which isn't very much. You usually get around 64 to probably 128 clay in one find, usually. But you get small little chunks like that as well. So we're just looking for some clay. I thought I'd seen some in a prior episode while I was walking around, but I've been wrong before. I've been thinking to myself, how are we going to get these quarries to be powered? Like, quarries are one of the things that require a lot of power in this game. I'm not quite sure yet. I'm thinking, I know what I'm going to do later on in the game when I have a lot of resources, but while it's still young, what am I supposed to do? Just looking for clay. So I think what we're going to do is use carrots first, and then we're going to use steam engines for the first little bit anyway. Alright, doesn't appear. Oh, there's a huge clay chunk way up there. You can see it on the map. Dang it. Dang it, Bobby. Oh, here we go. Lots of clay. Alright guys, I'll be right back. Alright guys, I just missed a little bit there. I was about to go back to the building, but just grabbing the rest of the clay here, hoping I don't drown. Oh, alright, we're good. Oh, there's still a little bit more. My goodness. The thing about clay is you can very easily die while trying to grab it, so... Oh, is that a glitch, or... Yeah, it must have been. Lots of clay here. Just grabbing the rest of this clay. Goodness gracious. Still a little bit more. Alright, that appears to be all of it. So, like I said, you can get 64 to 128 usually. We got at least 64 there. So that's good. That's a good find. Replace that little hole I made. Perfect. Keep on looking. Oh, it looks like there's a little bit of clay over there. You want to find clay that's closer to the top level so you don't have to go underwater. That's the problem. And this clay is clearly under the water fully, so it's a big patch too. So we'll grab some of this. And you need just about as much clay as you do sand. And it takes about 5 sand per block that I'm making. So I need about 27 blocks at least, I think. So grab a little bit more here. And we'll go up top and we'll start smelting all our stuff down. Uh-oh. Now we're punching clay. This takes forever. The nice thing about clay is that because it's a basic resource, which is like dirt and sand and all that, is that you can punch it. The problem is when you're underwater, everything takes twice as long, so you end up punching clay for a half hour and you don't get anywhere. So I'm just going to head back over to the house and we'll get started on smelting this stuff down. Be right back, guys. Alrighty, guys, we're back at the house. I'm going to grab another shovel, hopefully. Oh, no more shovels. So I'm going to go make another shovel, and then we're going to start smelting this clay down, And once we have the clay started to turn into bricks, we're going to go back out. I'm going to go back out, sorry, not you guys with me. I'm going to go back out and get a little bit more clay, because we still need quite a bit. But I figured I'd show you guys this quick. So we're going to take a few more ores. I'm probably going to leave the rest of these ones in here. Maybe I'll do the silver. The other ones are pretty hard to get around too, so throw these in there, grab the old dusts out, throw them in, switching it all out, getting ourselves some iron and tin, and then once this one is finished, which will be in a few minutes, I'll throw in the clay. So I'll be right back, guys. So like I said, guys, when I was looking on the map, and you see pretty much where I am now is where I was looking before, and there was this huge patch of clay, and I had known it before, and I'd wanted to go get it, but that was when I said dying, so I'm just grabbing that right now, because I know there's probably enough clay in this patch alone to get me through what I'm going to do, so even if we only get one of what I'm going to build, that'll be good enough for this episode. So we got ourselves that giant clay patch. Oh, still some left in there. That's no good. Alright, there we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to go check, make sure there's nothing here. Alright, so I've started smelting down those items. They're pretty much done, the tin at least, so we're going to throw in our clay. And I'll show you guys just a few clay being turned into clay brick. And then I'll go off camera and let it finish itself off. And then we'll go from there. So you can see it's turning itself right now over into this slot, and it turns into clay brick. So it's just called a brick. Okay, and these can be used in different recipes, so we can get a flower pot, we can get bricks, coke oven, detector for the tanks, and then a solid fueled firebox. And this is for another railcraft recipe. I'm not sure how that's made, but we'll get into all that stuff later. So once all this stuff is done, which is going to take quite a while, I'll show you guys the new build. So I'll be right back, guys. Alright, guys, while I'm waiting for that stuff to melt down, it's taken quite a bit longer than I expected. It's been about 20 minutes now, so I'm just over here at the farm, just gathering the rest of the resources. I've planted a few more potatoes and a lot more carrots. I'm just grabbing some wheat so that I can make some bread, so I can eat something while I wait for the rest of the food to grow. And I figured this is a good chance to kind of show you guys how that's done, because as much as I did a tutorial on it, nothing's better than watching it actually be used in action. So we've just gotten all types of wheat. Alright, so we're just going to finish planting off this farm again. And over here. Grab the rest of those seeds. The nice thing about the farm is that you can see how much wheat I got. That's off not even a full haul from the entire farm being emptied, so a full thing of potatoes will basically guarantee food forever, so. And a full thing of carrots will do the same thing, but carrots don't offer as much food for me. So let's go back to the house. I'll sleep. I'll go check on the clay upstairs and then make some bread. And we'll go from there. Alright. So we're going to go upstairs right now. And I know I've got a crafting table in my inventory, but it's just better to consistently use the same one. So we'll just take the wheat just like this in a line. Get yourself some bread. So make 16 bread, which is an amazing amount. Put the rest back. Miscellaneous. Yep. Now let's go see. You can see I've got tons of bricks here, and it's still going actually. So just throw the rest in, and I'll be back when this is finished. Alrighty, guys. You can see here all the clay is finished up, and I've just thrown my regular smelting items back in. So let's get to making the new item. So we're going to go over to the crafting table here. And we're going to type in, you might have guessed it, failed twice, creosote oils. So we're going to make coke oven bricks, just like so. So we're going to need a stack of bricks, and you can see why I chose 5 stacks of bricks, right? So perfect amount, 5 stacks of sand, sorry, and a perfect amount of bricks. So we're going to get 64 coke oven bricks, which is, I think, enough to make 2 coke ovens. And you're about to see how that's made right now. So we're going to go down here into this wonderful room. I think what we're going to do first is scrap the flooring, so our sandstone. And I'm going to take the rest of this sand, just in case. I'm going to make the floor into sandstone, so I'll be right back when I get my shovel. Alright guys, we're just going to go down here and dig up the floor real quick. He says, laughing because he knows you can't dig a floor quick. And then once that's done, we're going to lay down the sandstone and then build ourselves some coke ovens. Awesome. Coke ovens, used to make creosote oil, and I believe another item that I'm going to end up piping out, are one of my favorite items because you have to build them in-game. There's plenty of other recipes now that are built in-game, but it was one of the first ones, so it's stuck with me as one of my favorites. So you can see how this floor is coming together quite nicely. I chose sandstone because the top has a really nice finish to it, and it resists creeper explosions rather well. I can barely punch it, so we're going to get enough room over here, so 3 by 3. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're just going to lay it down like this with a hole in the center, because I'm going to end up using this hole to pipe things out later. Then we're going to put another one right beside it. Alright, so now what we do is we take our coke oven bricks and we just lay them down like this. And then 3 by 3 to make 9. Do it again. But you leave a hole in the center this time. Okay, so we're going to go up one. And then you cover the top with them. And that makes a coke oven. And you can see I can right click on it now, and it creates a form of a GUI. And we've got an input slot for fuel, which is only coal or, I believe, charcoal. Or sorry, coal or wood. And it outputs whatever comes out. So we're going to get coal coke or charcoal. And then it fills up this tank, 64,000. And that 64,000 transforms into 64 buckets worth of creosote oil. And creosote oil is used to make tracks, which is part of Railcraft. So to make a track, if we're just going to go to basic track, it's a different recipe than vanilla Minecraft, which is good because vanilla rails are very easy to get. But to make a wooden rail bed, we need these wooden ties. And to get a wooden tie, you need creosote oil. You can see there, okay? Some form of creosote oil. So if we put it into a carpenter with these, it automatically makes it for us. So that's basically what we're going to end up doing. So this thing is going to fill up. We're going to empty. We're going to build another one right here. And we're going to fill them up with coal. And the reason I like Railcraft so much is you can do so much with it that you really don't need any other kind of mods. I mean, the other mods help a lot, but maybe I'll put another one up there, at the very top there. Maybe that's what I'll do. Let's put a third one in. That'd be kind of cool. Now I don't have enough bricks, so this is just gonna be a partly built one. Sorry. Oh, fail. Oh, good lord. Tell me you need an iron pickaxe. Alright guys, so I'm going to go get an iron pickaxe. And my house is so big now that to walk through it is kind of ridiculous. So go get my iron pickaxe. And just go cut those out, put the sandstone back in. Starting to get nighttime here. Alright. And then we're going to throw some coal in there. So alright, so we're going to lay this down on top. Awesome. So we got 2 coal coke ovens and then a second one almost done. And that chest is going to become useful in the very near future, and I'm sure you're guessing why. Because we're just going to end up piping stuff into it. So we got to grab ourselves coal. Yeah, that's it. So So we're going to put a stack of coal in each. So that clearly dwindles my resources of coal. So that actually makes a reason for me to go mine coal now. But this is a very slow process. It takes about 3 minutes per coal to burn out. So you'll see here that when it lights up, it animates red, but this starts to burn. And for some reason, the coal in here takes 4 minutes to get from this point to this point. And it gives us, per 2 of those, 1 coal coke, which is ridiculous. So that's quite the long process, and I'm not going to sit here to show you guys that because it would take forever. So what we're going to do is we're going to go upstairs, and we're going to start getting ready for my next part of the build. Oh, it's nighttime, let's go sleep. Alright. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make these automatic crafting tables. So let's show you those. Okay, so we know what a crafting table looks like, but what we want is an automatic crafting table, which takes wooden gears. Okay, so these sticks forming wooden gears on a crafting table allows me to pump items out of that. So we're going to use that in future episodes. So let's make a few gears right now just to kind of get ahead of the game. So we'll take, say, 60, maybe 16. That should be enough for now. Alright, so 32. That should give us 8 gears. Awesome. So now we've got our gears. You saw I made those, obviously. We're going to grab, we need a crafting table. I think I have one. I got one there, but I don't want to use that one. Maybe I will. Let's take our crafting table. Just like that. Perfect. And then this is going to go down here. Somewhere down here at least. For now. So that is going to be used later on to form these things. So you can see it's starting to get there. Maybe it isn't 3 minutes. Maybe they reduced it to like 1.5 minutes or something. It's a rather long process though. So if that finishes, I'll show you guys what I mean by the creosote oil and whatnot. Let's go back upstairs. Alright, so I'll be right back, guys. I gotta go figure out what I want to do next. Remember what I wanted to do? I got a comment saying, oh, your structure's not sound, which frustrated me beyond all belief. So we're gonna go do that real quick. So you can see we got 1 coal coke per coal. Okay, so they changed it quite clearly. We got coal coke right here, and we got creosote oil. And coal coke lasts twice as long as a piece of coal in an engine. So that's good, because we're going to be using Stirling engines, which are right here, just like so, to power our quarry. We're going to need 10 of these to power the quarry, and that's what these are going to be used for. So right now we're just going to take this stuff right here, this building material, and we're going to do the math. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So right here, supposedly, is the fault point. So if we put, now I'm not quite sure of the math, but I'm fairly certain that that's how it works. Oh, it sounds to me like my dogs are in a fight. Just like that, okay? So that would support this, which leans out, okay? And that supports the entire building. Now, if this is wrong, and you're some sort of mathematician or engineer or whatever, let me know, and we will discuss how to get this to better support the building. It looks kind of ridiculous right now, at least, but, you know, it does the job, and it looks alright, actually, if you go far away. It's kind of cool. Maybe I'll just fill it in. But, I mean, I was going to fill it in anyway, so it's not a big deal. Okay. Let's throw this back up there. Alright, guys. So, I'm not sure how long this episode is. Let me just go check. And then once I'm done checking, we'll figure out if we're going to keep going with the episode, if we're going to go to the next build, or if we're just going to cut it off here. So I'll be right back, guys. Alrighty, guys. It seems like a pretty good cutoff point for the episode. I've got quite a bit done today. We got some creosote coming in now. Half a bucket's worth. And we're starting to get this room working on it. Between this episode and next, I'm planning on finishing off this floor. So, thanks for watching. You know, next episode, we're going to get into more of this, as well as we're going to build our first quarry. So, stay tuned, guys. But enjoy!